This is our surgery exam room, which has actually just been newly reconstructed, which is quite beautiful. We have these new tables that we can do that our volunteers are washing our instruments after all of our surgeries from today. They pack them up, we sterilize them. Everything is stocked out here, which is very convenient for doing more charting, everything that we do. These are some of the kids waking up from surgery already from today. We have a few kittens who have not been adopted yet. As you can see, they are adorable when they are little drunkards waking up from anesthesia. And so if anybody is looking for kittens, here they are. Come get them. Tomorrow they'll be up for adoption. They will stay here overnight after their post-op. We also have another one that's going to go up for adoption. This is Baron Von Biscuit. One of our wonderful volunteers just actually brought him in to get surgery today. They fostered until he was healthy from his upper respiratory infection. Peanut is going back to foster. She is just getting socialization, and so she will eventually go up for adoption as well, but the foster will come pick her up. And then,
she looks very unhappy.
The last one that we have out here is actually one of our Spay and Saves. So Spay and Save is a program that we put on for people who are low income, that have any kind of public assistance as well, that we do Spay and Save or spay or neuters for cheap. So this is a program that we will discharge to the owners. The owners drop off in the morning. It's actually scheduled through Oregon Humane Society. So they also can coordinate. Feral Cat Coalition does this. Cat Adoption Team does this. Everyone kind of has a different little program that they do, but if need be, if anyone's interested in that, calling the Humane Society, you can schedule through them, and they can come here and get it done through us. Yeah. This is our actual surgery prep area. So we have a couple more, as you can see. All the paperwork's done for our Spay and Saves, but these are just the discharge instructions that we have on the front of their cages. We had a cherry eye surgery today with a neuter. These two little guys are brothers. They're actually huge, 10 pounds almost a piece. They got neutered today, and that little girl is adorable. She is actually already adopted, so sorry, but still cute. This kid, we're just letting him gradually, slowly wake up, so we don't want to scare them with all the light and everything. This little kid also was neutered today. And then right now we actually are in on dental with the doctor, Jackie, and our volunteer also running anesthesia.
Hey everybody. Everybody send some love to our wonderful medical team here.
Yay! And
so tell us about our veterinarians on site. How many vets do we have, and what does that look like?
We have two full-time vets. One has been off for a little bit, but we have relief vets coming in constantly. They split the ends of the week, so it's kind of a Sunday through Wednesday, Wednesday through Saturday kind of thing. So we have coverage at all times. So they pretty much do surgeries in the morning, Monday through Friday, and then all afternoon they'll do exams and rechecks and everything on the pets that we have, in our facility here.
Whatever stack of papers that we've set up for all of us.
Exactly, you name it, we're throwing at them.
Well, they're not looking.
But I mean, they have such a wide variety of medicine that they need to cover here for mass medicine, so it's impressive what they can do and get done.
Yeah, what's the kind of volume that we do on spay and neuter surgeries in this clinic?
Surgery-wise, we probably do anywhere from 8 to 15 a day. So Monday through Friday, so we knock them out as fast as we can. I mean, you name it though. Cat neuters are going to be done within 10 minutes. Dog spays 30. So however much we can get done. They have a certain time limit until about 1 p.m. and we cram as many in as we can.
Yep. So I know that some of you have asked about the Spay and Save program, and while that is separate from the surgeries that we do for our adoptable shelter animals, it has had a huge impact on the local population of animals. We're making a dent in the pet overpopulation, specifically for cats, and shelters across the region are reporting lower intakes. So the good news is that program is working. It's largely thanks to the Animal Shelter Alliance of Portland's Spay and Save program, of which we are an active participant here. And we naturally also spay and neuter all dogs and cats before they go up for adoption. So what does it look like when a kitten comes in and they're getting surgery? I know that we're preparing a ton of surgery packets here. This is our volunteer Bonnie.
These are mostly for our like larger spays and neuters. But for kitten neuters and things along those lines, it's just a simple little pack that we can use because we can pretty much knock them out and get them done within seriously 10 minutes. So these guys probably took a whole half hour for her not even to do this morning.
And they're already
awake and ready
back up
for action.
You can't even tell. It's a good recovery right there.
It's an impressive watching those doctors work because they've done this so many times just as a repetitive motion that they can get these done, and it's the tiniest incision and they're up and going.
Do they use special techniques?
I mean,
When it
they're
comes
special
to-
doctors. They can do amazing things. But even at that, we have relief doctors come in that want to just volunteer their time so they can get better at spays and neuters and watch these doctors work. They're good at what they do, and they're good at teaching other people how to do it.
That's good. All hands on deck.
Yeah.
Half the time they don't even realize anything was done.
No, but we try to keep them calm for 5 to 7 days afterwards. It doesn't always work because, as you can see, that's really calm.
Right. They're up and playing. If they do get too rough and tumble, do they get a collar of shame, a little Elizabethan
if they
collar?
lick at the incision, yes. Otherwise,
Maybe a
we would
timeout.
separate them if they seem to be affected by it, but they are
Say,
not
get
as of
me
now.
out of here!
Yeah.
They're
So-
crazy!
If you're a foster volunteer, or if you're a member of the public who's just adopted a pet that's had spay or neuter surgery, what are some post-op instructions that they should be mindful of?
Keeping them calm for about a week if possible. I know it's hard with kittens and puppies. On our females, we actually do a tattoo line to make sure for any time in the future, if they're ever, picked up, they can easily just make a little shave mark and see that there is a teal line or a black line or any kind of mark to show it's spayed without having to try to hunt too hard. We make sure that they're not licking at the incision, or they do get a cone of shame. And other than that, I mean, some of the females go on post-operative pain meds for a day, but also their incisions are so small that it honestly takes about 48 hours to kick back and recover from that. Making sure they're eating, drinking, everything along those lines, like all meals after surgery, just to kind of wake them up.
Right. And if there is like any abnormalities or swelling, would they come back here for a recheck, or do
Yeah.
we have certificates for their doctors?
Yeah, they can. Our doctors do any kind of post-op recovery if we want to follow up and follow through with it, of course, and she would want to look at them. But as you can see, smallest little incision. There's just nothing there.
I can't even see it. Here.
That's
Help me out
because
here,
there was
Jackie.
barely anything there to begin
That's
with.
a little boy.
It was a little boy.
It was a little boy, yeah.
But it's so small, as you can see, that's why they snap back so quickly.
Are you all boys?
They're all boys.
They're all boys.
She's
Peanut's a girl, but I don't dare. Yeah.
I actually probably do you. I know. Come here. We're going to show them your little incision. And the little tiny teal tattoo.
So just there on this, is it on the
Right
side?
here.
There it is. Oh yeah.
Really?
Here we go.
That's why they also snap back so quickly.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't even care. You don't care, do you?
It used to be they used to use on the inside stainless steel sutures.
So you could feel the
Yeah,
metal.
but now we use dissolvable sutures, so
That's
everything goes away. So the only way you can tell they've been spayed really is
from
by the
tattooing.
tattooing.
So what are some of the things that we need here in the clinic, or some of the main supplies that we deal with?
Well, right now, I mean, most of the stuff we do, we go through a scrub, our gauze, but we do microchipping, we trim their nails, we give them vaccines when they're under anesthesia because we don't want them to feel any of these pokes that we do. But some of the things, we actually took x-rays on a dog today. We did cherry eye surgery. He was a little bit weak in his hind end when he came in. So we figured when we did a neuter, we would just do x-rays as well after we did his sedation, so we didn't have to stress him out. But anyone wanted to do x-ray equipment for us. I know we get a lot of donations for film, and we purchase all of our kind of fixatives that we have to dip all of our x-ray stuff in. But I know we have kind of old school because we still do film. So, if anyone wanted
We
to
don't
just
have digital.
throw out a digital system to us, we wouldn't deny it.
Sitting in the barn or garage or something.
That would be nice. But other than that, I I mean, we do a lot of dentals here. I think our dental machine was donated to us from another clinic, which was very generous because a lot of places don't have dental machines, and we do extractions, and our doctors, we polish the teeth, we clean the teeth of anything we can do. So that's always nice.
Yeah, it's really impressive what we're able to do with some of just the bare necessities of equipment that have been provided. We had some generous donors about a month ago donate a new warming pad
That was
for the
amazing
clinic,
as well.
which
We use on the tables
really
to keep
helps,
them warm
yeah.
during surgery. We have a heat pad almost on every table. One of our tables is actually heated itself, so they're amazing to keep them warm because we have to keep their temperature up because they get cold when they are under anesthesia.
Yeah. Good to keep them alive there.
It's
wonderful.
I mean, haven't seen one fail yet. We're always keeping them alive.
So, folks, if you're watching and you're supporting, thank you so much if you've made a donation. We also want to provide the opportunity to donate. We've just posted a little link, which will bring you to our fundraiser for the Kitten Triage program. Your donations support the surgeries that happen in this clinic. They support the spay neuter surgery as well as the vaccines and any other additional help that the kittens may need for them to survive and thrive. We tell the story of Parsnip, who had several fractures in her rear leg, and she received extensive treatment in this clinic to keep her alive, to bring down her fever, to bring her swelling down, and multiple X-rays
and splits. That was amazing with her.
Yep, wonderful foster taking care of her. So your support really does. Your support, it provides the bare necessities, and it also saves lives of these many kittens. We receive over 900 kittens and their mothers each year, and so it goes a long way to make sure that you're saving lives. And we save over, I believe, 92% of kittens. There are some that fail to thrive, as is often the case with kittens who have lost their mother, but we do everything we can to make sure that they are saved, that they receive all the medical interventions they need to be healthy, happy kittens.
And obnoxious. Let's not forget obnoxious.
Yes. I mean cute. Let's reframe that. They're cute. Hi, Tiffany. Thanks for watching.
You're thinking adorable.
If you're just joining us, we are joined. Well, I don't think we gave proper introductions.
No,
this is Tara, one of our stars here in the clinic, and also Jackie, if you haven't met Jackie, and our volunteer Bonnie. Yeah.
One of the favorite volunteers.
Yeah, Bonnie is making up surgery packets, which is a very important task for volunteers in the clinic. About how many volunteers do you have?
Oh, at least 6, 7.
6 or 7 volunteers.
A lot of them do rotations. Bonnie is here every week, twice a week, because she loves us so much. But yes, we try to be as friendly as we can to them because we appreciate them so much. They do a lot of free work. It's nice.
It's a pretty special method with all the instruments and trying to package them up.
It's like wrapping a diaper almost.
So, and you're streamlining it so that when the animal's on the table, everything is in order, everything is right where it needs to be.
The packs are all the same. Everything is just very routine. So it's put a pack on the table. All the same instruments are always going to go in the pack. So it never differentiates. And clean them up, put them back in the pack just the way they were.
Right. And if you were with us earlier, you may not have seen the senior dog who was on the table, but we do have the capability to offer dental surgeries here in the clinic if we want to do dental cleanings and extractions, which is mainly for senior cats, but if a kid never needed interventions like that, it would be...
Sometimes they have deciduous teeth that get stuck, and we have to pull those out too.
Are there any other notable surgeries or procedures that you perform for kittens here in the clinic besides spay or neuter surgeries?
I mean, sometimes eye enucleations, amputations, if that's needed, of course. We try to prevent it if all possible. But I mean, this kid just had a cherry eye surgery, which is just a little third eyelid that blips out. But they just tie it down and it stays down, hopefully, and everything is smooth sailing from there. But those are most of our surgeries, but the majority is just the basic spay and neuter.
Well, thank you so much, Tara, for giving us a tour of the clinic, and thank you, Bonnie, for your volunteer service. And if you're interested in volunteering, you can join us this Wednesday
You can hang out with me all day.
Yep, it's our volunteer information session. You can learn about the many jobs and tasks that save lives here at the shelter, including the work that Bonnie's doing today and that we saw Janet doing in the kitten trailer. And also, if you wanted to be a foster volunteer, it's a great opportunity to learn about many things you can do to help. So this Wednesday at 7 p.m. here at the shelter, and it's normally the fourth Wednesday of every month, except for maybe December. And we love having new volunteers. Our volunteers provide the work of approximately 42 full-time staff. So we've got a wonderful army who are saving lives here at the shelter. Thanks to all of our volunteers for supporting and tuning in, and thanks for everybody supporting this program. Do you want to go check out another area of the shelter?
Sure.
Jackie, lead the way.
All you. See you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
So we are behind the scenes. We normally spend most of our time in the kitten trailer, but we want to show you some of the other support facilities that help the kittens along their way.
Yeah, and some of why we have the kitten trailer. So this is our cat intake room. This is where the big kids go typically. Hi. Can you put her on hold? Right this second. Yeah, you volunteer out there.
Do we have volunteers?
She obviously didn't get the message.
We can go.
I'll go get her out.
Yeah. So this is where all the cats go that typically come into the shelter. The adult cats will come in here in the winter time. The kittens will come in here as well. So this is just kind of one of the reasons why we have the kitten trailer is to kind of minimize the number of cats that come in here because of the fact that we get so many kittens, they'll just take over the whole space and we have nowhere for cats. The x-ray table that Sarah was talking about, Perchnip and the other kitties get their x-rays done if they need it, if there's any concerns with whether or not there's an injury.
So this was also donated by another clinic. It's a pretty old and rudimentary machine. We actually develop all of our x-rays manually. It's not a digital process, so you can see the developer and the fixer and all the other chemicals that are needed to process film, including x-rays.
Old school.
Old school. So
All right.
we can go to the adoption floor where kittens go once they've finished up. Once they've been through their foster care and they've received their spay-neuter surgery, they go up on the adoption floor. So most of the time our kittens are going to be hanging out in these cages in the hallway because they will be seen and they are usually adopted almost the day of they get here. And our wonderful volunteer Martha can also show us the role of volunteers.
Hello. Welcome to the gallery. We have some beautiful cats in here.
So what are some of the things that you do for volunteers that you do for kittens when they're here on the adoption floor, Martha?
Well, I'll tell you, we have kind of a designation about the color of the cat is kind of the special care that they need. We have some that purple that they need a little extra care because they just came in and they're a little bit frightened. And then we have the blue ones that are cuddly and are more easy to show and more eligible for kittens to go to families with kids. So we have a designation, but we make sure that every single cat, every single shift gets petted. So we have some really beautiful cats today. Some just came in today, like this little fella right here. It's just an absolute door. Did I say door? Sweetheart.
Absolute sweetheart.
Absolutely. He's very unique because he's got a little bobtail. And he's got the big haunches. And he's just a real sweetheart. He's looking for his forever home. He's got the pretty blue eyes. Yes. And he just loves to be petted. We have absolutely wonderful cats today. So if you're looking for a cat, please come down and find some forever homes for some of these wonderful kitty cats. Yes, look at this. Look at, he's almost got a lynx leg. He's a sweetie, and this little guy is Lionel.
Lionel. There we go.
With the pretty blue eyes.
So as you can see, all of our kennels here in the adoption area have been updated to give the cats a little extra space. They've got a perch where they can be a pie, which they like. They've got stretch and scratch boards, which you're welcome to donate. They're definitely needed for every single animal to help them stretch, help them de-stress while they're in their kennels. There's also a hidey hole, which houses their litter box, and it's also a good place they can go to get privacy while they're here. And kind of the system of adult cats and kittens is during kitten season, there's sometimes so many kittens available for adoption that some of the other wonderful cats, like this guy, Dr. Drake Ramore.
Who's going to give you a high five, Jay?
He's the star of Days of Our Lives. And
and he's saying, I need love.
Some of these other guys may be a little overlooked just because there's such high demand for the kittens. And so it's important to acknowledge that we have some wonderful older cats available for adoption. This guy's 4 years old, almost 5 years old. So that is one thing that happens during kitten season. We're saving the kittens, but we also are working hard to save the senior cats and the adult cats in our care.
This is Charles. He's 14 years old. Look how beautiful he is. He's kind of thin. He's just absolutely adorable. And I love to find the homes for the older cats. Come here. And this guy is just an absolute love. He just needs some love, and he's got a great personality. He says, I love to be petted. So like Jay said, the older cats definitely need the homes because the kittens, they are so peppy, but these guys are just the ones that are going to be steadfast and lap lovers. Absolute lap lovers. Yes. He's already kneading. He's going, I want to sit on your lap and make donuts.
And this is Charles, and you can see adoptable pets on our website, multicopets.org. We're also on Pet Finder and Adopt a Pet if you want to look at pet profiles of animals you can adopt here at the shelter.
He's a lover. Yes, he's a lover. Oh, he likes his tail scratched. Yes, aren't you a lover? Oh, yes.
So how did you become a volunteer with us, Martha?
Well, gosh, I actually had trapped a cat in our neighborhood and was taking him down to the Feral Cat Coalition and ran into one of the people that worked here. And I said, what do you do at the cattery? And she says, well, we give a lot of love in the cattery. And I says, that's what I want to do. I says, I'm retired and what a perfect place to come and give some cats some love. So she kind of convinced me that was the place to be the most, help out the most with the cats that need homes. So that's how I got in here. I have 4 at home. And they're wonderful, but they don't show me quite as much love because they're not as needy. So I like the needy cats out here.
Well, sounds like you found your calling. And if you're just tuning in, we mentioned a little bit before, but we have our volunteer information session this Wednesday at 7 p.m. here in the shelter. You can learn about all the wonderful volunteer opportunities, including what Martha gets to do, which is provide all sorts of love to the cats here in the cattery, and she also helps adopters find the right match.
Look at this little
You can learn about that and many of the other jobs here available for volunteers at the shelter. And we couldn't do what we do without the support of our community in the form of donations and especially volunteers providing all the
I love
all the
working
care
in the
for these
kitten
animals.
trailer too. Helping out with the
That is a
little
fun
kittens.
job. Yeah.
Yeah, Jackie is just a miracle worker out there with all the kittens that come in that need so much help. So this is an unusual looking little girl. This is Fifi. So she needs a home really bad, and she's such a lover.
Is
Look at that face.
she a Persian mix or?
Yeah, I
what are we,
believe
Fifi?
so. I think there's, the brand. I don't know the breed, to tell you the truth, other than she's just absolutely beautiful.
Honestly, to us, they're just great cats. So.
Persian, yeah. I think you're right, Jay. Yeah, they're all lovers, though. That's the key element for all of them.
So, if you're just tuning in this episode, we try to give you kind of a view of the support functions for the Kitten Triage program, including the clinic, our incoming cat area, and also the cat area here, and the wonderful volunteers who are helping to adopt out the kittens after they've received all the care they need with your support. After they hit 2 pounds and they're spayed or neutered, they go here on the adoption floor to go to loving new homes, and Martha plays an important role in making sure they go to the right people. So, thank you everybody for tuning in, and thank you Martha for being our host. Please join us next Tuesday at the same kitten time and the same kitten channel, 1 p.m. on Tuesdays on our Facebook page for Kitten Triage Tuesday. Thank you to everybody for donating. If you would like to donate, there's a donation link here in the comments, and we appreciate all of your support. We're about halfway towards our goal of raising $22,000 for the Kitten Triage program this year, which goes a long way to save over 900 kittens and their mothers, which we receive every year. So thank you, everybody, and we are tuning out. Thanks for joining us for Kitten Triage Tuesday.